Greetings and good evening. Welcome to the Roundtable, ladies and gentlemen. Today is Friday, September the 26th, 2025. Boss, welcome. I am Drew, and I am here to talk about the big weekend ahead of us, both in the NCAA and the NFL, as it pertains to the pigskin. We have some big games on the slate that we're going to discuss tonight that are going to kick off in roughly about 15 hours or so. The first big game of the weekend, high noon tomorrow with the college football landscape. And then we roll right into Sunday with the big game on Sunday Night Football between the Dallas Cowboys and the Green Bay Packers. But we're going to talk about that in a little bit. And I am here to talk about this with my brother, my man Griff. How are we doing on this fine Friday evening, good sir?
안녕하세요. 감사합니다. 참만요. Sure, I'm an international guy. I know all these different languages. Doing great, my brother. Doing great. As always, look forward to Friday to get on here and chat it up with you, and as well as with the round table.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And as we talked about the show on Tuesday night, we wrapped it up talking about the Thursday night game between the Arizona Cardinals and the Seattle Seahawks. And before I talk about, uh, that game and we get into the lineup for the night, I want to give a special shout out to everybody in the Roundtable family. Good evening to you as well, my family on TikTok, Facebook, and YouTube Live, where we're broadcasting on each one of these three platforms. Please join in tonight's chat as we talk about these games. Hopefully, we're talking about your favorite team as they have a huge game this upcoming weekend. I see we got Karen in the chat. Troy, what up? What up? How we doing on this evening? Joe, Mr. Leonard. Hey, Griff. Now, before I went off the air on Thursday, I reiterated the confidence that I have in Mr. Kyler Murray and his ability to win close games. Now, they could easily be 4-0, but they are 2-2. They lost two close games, last second losses, so to speak, to two division rivals, which has set them back. Now, I heard today something that kind of baffled me and kind of drove home the point that you said you're just not impressed with Kyler Murray. And as soon as I heard this stat, I was like, damn, Griff might have a point. Kyler Murray's record is terrible as a starting quarterback. And as terrible as his record is, it's even worse at home. So are you surprised? No, we're not surprised that Arizona lost this game to Seattle. We both picked Seattle to win this game, but what is it about Kyler Murray that just does not sell for you, and why you don't think he is going to be productive throughout this year?
One man, I don't like to knock a man down. I sat there and after we had our conversation, I felt kind of bad the way I talked
He
about
said,
him. Man. I said I don't want to be like the other shows, man. I don't want to be like Shady McCoy that be talking about. But for me, man, he's more dependent on his speed than his arm. He and this to me, I don't feel like he had a heartbeat of the team. That's just me. I mean, I looked at Marvin Harrison Jr. last night, and he looked like a kid out there that just don't, maybe they anointed him too soon as well
they
because
did.
they felt as though that he was going to be like his father. Uh, he did some things at the back end of the game, but the first part of the game, man, I was like, this is not the kid that was at Ohio State. Maybe he was in the system that worked for him. But they look without Connor, without James Conner, man, they hurt. And I just don't think Kyler Murray is the guy to get the Cardinals over that hump that they've been trying to get over.
Yeah, I think he's on the tail end of that 5-year, $185 million contract, and I don't think the team is going to be eager to re-sign him when his contract is up, and he's most likely going to move on. But in the interim, one, I agree with your assessment of Marvin Harrison Jr. He was anointed way too fast. He hasn't earned anything in the NFL. He has flashes of what he can possibly be. He has flashes of his father's greatness, but I think the name is carrying more than the performance right now. But Arizona is going to be what they were last year and the year before that if Kyler Murray stays healthy. They are going to be a spoiler for someone late in the season that is legitimately vying for a playoff position that is on Arizona's schedule, and they're going to knock them off, whether it's in the division with either Seattle, the Rams, or San Francisco, or somebody else in the NFC. Now, to Seattle, how good can Seattle be? And I know we're out of time, but how good can Seattle be is still yet to be determined because they have a defense. McDonald is a defensive minded coach. He has shown that throughout his young coaching career, defensively in Baltimore and now with the Seahawks for a second year. Sam Darnold has shown us through these past 2 years that he has found the second leg of his career. So I'm interested in see how Seattle looks 6 weeks from now and whether or not they're still competitive.
I,
So
they'll be competing for that division right there. I like what I see with that team, man. I like they got a running game, they got a good defense, some great receivers. Sam Donald definitely looked like he been in the league a while. He been a journeyman, but I think he in the right program. So I see it coming that division coming down to them and the Rams.
okay, I can definitely see that because I don't think the 49ers are going to be able to hang long term without Purdy. But
Well, we'll get to it, but Purdy is supposed to play this weekend.
we'll talk about that later. Ladies and gentlemen, we got some big games ahead of us this weekend. We talked about the opener last night. We have some huge early season games, some separation Sunday type games on Sunday in the NFL. And it starts off with two undefeated teams, two playoff teams from last year, two teams that are very familiar with each other. Where you have the defending Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles traveling down to Florida, to Tampa, Florida, to take on a Tampa Bay Bucs team that is not only a very good team, I would just put it like that early in the season. They've had 3 comeback victories early in the season, consecutively. 3 game-winning comeback victories. So it lets you know that they have the intestinal fortitude and the grit to grind it out. No team intimidates them, but they are now missing their star receiver. But they've beaten Philly the last 2 times. The last time when Philly had completely fallen off the cliff in the playoffs 2 years ago, and then last year on Monday Night Football, even with Philly ramping up to go on that Super Bowl run. So, what are you looking for in this game on Sunday afternoon? Early kickoff, 1 o'clock in the afternoon on Fox, between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Can Baker find some of that Baker magic that is going to be needed, or does Philly's defense really start to impose their early season will on the offenses of other teams? And Saquon find the run game.
Not in this game. I'm
Not
just going to be honest. I don't think he'll be able to find a run game in this game because of the Tampa Bay that front line, the defensive line. That thing is packed. I think this game is going to come down again to Jayden like last week. Jayden's arm and being able to get the ball into those receivers' hands. Uh, I see it being a good game, man, because Baker Mayfield and Jayden, they both figure out ways to do stuff like I see Christian say, Mike Evans is not playing, but you know what? They still got that young man down there, Buka. He looked pretty good, and they got them tight ends, and Baker still was, figure out ways. So I got the Eagles in this game. I still think it's going to be a close game, but I think the game is going to come down to Jalen Hurts' arm and his legs because I don't think Saquon is going to it's going to be another week where Saquon, I think he ain't even averaging 4 yards a carry this year. And teams key in on him, and this is probably the best defensive line they've played against all season. So I don't see him having a big game.
That's interesting, right? And I remember early in the week I asked this question: is Tampa Bay for real? Are they an early season pretender? They are 3-0. I actually put them in my top 5 early in the week, but again, they're 3-0 against teams that are 1-8. They beat Atlanta last second. They beat the Jets last second. Who did they beat Sunday? Last second.
Houston. Was it Houston?
Yeah, or someone like that, where those teams are combined 1-8. So, is it that Tampa Bay has the grit to come back, or is it that they're beating subpar teams, and it just so happens that they are the better of those subpar teams? We shall find out on Sunday because Philly is one of the top three teams in the National Football League. And whether or not Saquon is averaging 3 to 5 yards or 6 yards, or whether or not Jalen Hurts is going to have to use his arm and his legs to be the difference maker in this game, I don't think this game is going to be that close. I don't think Tampa Bay is up on Philly's level yet. The question has been all week, is Tampa Bay the biggest threat to Philadelphia in the NFC? Tampa Bay hasn't proven it to me yet that they are the biggest threat. They've had phenomenal comeback wins, but again, the competition or the level of competition is not the same that what you're going to see on Sunday. Yes, their defense leads them. You said it was mentioned in the chat that with Mike Evans out, Tampa Bay is 0-3. The young receiver that you made mention from Ohio State, he about to get a little bit of taste of smash mouth in your face football from the Philadelphia Eagle defensive back four. Now,
Clock it.
whether or not he can create separation, that'll be a great difference maker. But that same front four that had Patrick Mahomes running around in the Super Bowl like he was just befuddled is going to be that same front four that is going to bring that pressure on Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield is more athletic than Patrick Mahomes, but his accuracy and the ability to get the ball where he needs it to be is not on the same level. Now, his aggressiveness is, we know Baker will take a chance. We know Baker is going to do everything that he can to keep his team in the game. But I agree with you. The Philly should win this game. This game is not going to be as close as many people think because of Philly's defense and the ability to beat you with the pass if you stop the run.
Look, Christian just said amen like you up here a pastor preaching or something like that. Oh, matter of fact, that's what he said. He preaching tonight.
Yeah, so we're both in agreement, man. Philly should win this game. I think it's going to be more of a 10 or 14 point spread. Even though they're favored by 3 or 4, I don't know what the spread is, but I think Philly wins this one in a double-digit lead. Not a blowout. It's going to be tight, but the end result will be double digits for me. All right, so that is the opening game of the weekend, ladies and gentlemen, and the closing game of Sunday is the one that we have all been waiting for the past 5-6 weeks, the one that has been discussed for the past 5-6 weeks in some capacity or another, whether it's on the field discussion or whether it's in the booth discussion. You have the Green Bay Packers traveling down to Jerry's World on Sunday Night Football, the only game on at that time. So if you're a football fan, you're going to be watching. If you're not a football fan, you most likely will be watching just to see the drama. Or if you're in the house of a fan, you're definitely going to hear that TV on. So, man, this is the game that everybody has been waiting for. This is the Micah Bowl. This is the game that is just another game, according to Dakota Wayne Prescott. It's just another game, according to Micah Parsons. But all of the hoopla, all of the lead-up discussion is going to lead to what on Sunday night? I want you to talk to the audience and explain to them how Dallas is going to not only be competitive, but they're going to be right there in the fourth quarter, vying for a victory and possibly a late game Aubrey game-winning kick from 70 yards.
I played the fifth.
He said, I plead the fifth.
Drew, hey man, I love
okay, I'm hyping y'all up, man. You got
I love football, but I ain't gonna sit up here and even front, man. We didn't gave up damn near 300 yards passing in the last 2 games. We done made every quarterback look like they the best thing in the daggone league. Because I can tell you this weekend, Caleb will not have the same game that he had. Just like Russ didn't have the same game that he had in the next game. Our defense is awful. I think Jordan Love, as much as he loved to give the ball away, he can throw some interceptions and still rebound from it. I think it's gonna be the last week of Eberflus. I think after this game right here, it'll be they gonna either promote somebody up to be the defensive coordinator or they gonna go look for somebody. The offensive line, Michael Parsons. If he don't sack Dak at least 3 to 4 times, because this thing is personal. It ain't business. This is truly personal, right? Uh, and I hate to say it because my offensive line sucked. I got Steele on one side. I think Guyton is out. Again, we put another on, and Guyton blocks Dak's backside, his blind side. Hey, the only chance the Cowboys got in this game if they can run the ball and keep the Green Bay offense off the field. That's the only chance that they got. They come out there, CeeDee Lamb is out. Pickens is okay, but the only way we stay in this game is we running the ball and the defense get lucky because Love and throw something. If we can run the ball, which that's the only defense. I mean, the best defense we got is running the ball because Micah Parsons run past runners. He's a great pass rusher, but teams figured out to get past Micah Parsons, all you got to do is run at him because he's going to run right past that. But I don't see this game being close. As a diehard Cowboy fan, even though we playing in Dallas, and how they say any given Sunday, but I just don't see it. Jared know what he was doing. This gonna be the most watched game probably all year. The ratings is gonna be out the roof because whether or not people like the Cowboys or not, most of the people that's gonna be watching is people dialing in to watch them lose. So that's my take, bro. I'm sorry, man. I'm off my soapbox now.
Well, let me.
He's just joking. Put his glasses on.
Let me pontificate for a moment. You are absolutely correct. This is going to be the most watched Sunday night football game all year. The ratings come Monday or Tuesday or whenever they are released, they shall show that the Dallas Cowboys is the highest rated viewing team. This could be a blowout. You're right. Christian says, spoiler alert, if this game is close in the fourth quarter, Dallas shall win, especially if y'all got 90 seconds and you're within 3. Because Mr. R, I BS you not, this kid can kick from anywhere. Weather would definitely not be a problem. Can Dallas play inspired ball? The Dallas offense is still a riddle wrapped up in an enigma, or the vice versa, whichever one it is. To me, because they have the ability to go touchdown for touchdown. Green Bay's defense is very good, but they did lose to the Browns last week. They did give up 10 points or 13 points in a very short span because they were leading or shutting them out for a majority of the game.
That was build up for this game, bro. That's all that was. That was build up for this.
Yeah, that might have been build up for this game, but all of the talk about how does Micah get his leg back against Jerry, because it's not personal between Mike and the Dallas Cowboys. It's personal between Mike Parsons and Jerry Jones. Jerry Jones is not playing football. Mike Parsons is. I said on Tuesday, for y'all to have a chance with your limited passing ability this week or being hampered with CD being out, is to run directly at Micah, right? Run stunts. Keep those 2 and 3 tight end sets right there with Dax in his back pocket so that he can use that as his easy getaway. Y'all can make it close. You're gonna
go ahead and get your pick, man.
You're gonna lose, but you can make it close and entertaining for the folks, right? And Matt Eberflus, whether or not he is still employed next week, I believe he will, because Green Bay is not going to light it up. Green Bay is not going to put 40 on y'all like they did in the playoffs a couple of years ago.
You're talking old stuff again.
This is going to be a 35-17 type game, right? 38-17. I mean, if they really wanted to, blow it up, but I think Dallas will represent well. They will show flashes that when healthy, they could be competitive. But if this game is close in the fourth quarter, regardless of the outcome, Green Bay gets notched or knocked down a notch as it pertains to how good do people actually believe they are. If they don't go into Dallas with all of the injuries that Dallas has on both offense and defense, and win comfortably by in the third quarter, this game is over, like they did in the playoff a couple of years ago. when they were up 27-0.
It'd be your own people. Man. I swear,
Game,
your own people.
then the Green Bay Packers are not as good as we think early in the season. But man, I am
Thank you,
looking forward.
Jordan. Thank you, Jordan. Thank you. We need their horn, but it's time to move on.
I am looking forward to this game, as is the majority of NFL fans. Both good and bad. A lot of people are pulling for Cowboys to pull up an upset. Griff, you said Dallas is America's team, but you
Oh,
have
they are. They are. That's why everybody gonna be watching because they are America's team.
exactly. Well, I'm not going to say they're America's team, but that is the reason why the opposite side is going to be watching, because it is entertainment. All right, and that's what Jerry sells: entertainment.
That's what
Forget
he do, man. He is
he don't
just
do wins. He don't do victories anymore. He does entertainment. All right, man. But before that game comes on, we have, and I can't believe I'm saying this, the game of the year between the two worst best teams in the NFL. The Baltimore Ravens, who is the best team on paper in the National Football League, traveling down to the defending AFC champions who won 15 games last year. Both of them are 1-2. Both of them are desperate for a win. Both of them have Super Bowl expectations. Neither one of them can afford to go down 1-3. More so for the Chiefs than the Ravens, because the Ravens can come back and win their division, because the rest of the division is already teetering. How does the Chiefs, who are not going to be favored, defend home field and pull out another one of these magical Mahomes victories?
Hey man, first of all, of the last 7 games these two teams played against each other, the Chiefs have won 6 of the last 7. The last one they won by a toenail.
True that. True that.
Man, and I know Carrie gonna be mad at him, but just, look, I love my sister to death, but
It's
man,
so watching. What,
look,
what
look,
did I say?
look, man, hey, Derrick Henry is my guy, man, but Derrick done fumbled the ball. He 3 games in a row. He done fumbled the ball at opportunities, and then this is what happens when he fumbled the ball. They stop giving the ball to him, and that just don't make sense to me. It don't make sense to me. So uh, Patrick Mahomes, as long as he on that field, he gonna always figure out a way. Me personally, though, I just don't think he have enough firepower on the offensive side of the ball. This game should be. I think the Ravens should definitely win this game easily. But for whatever reason, that Ravens always figure out a way to keep other teams in the game.
That they
Uh,
do.
and because they had just going back. Think about the Buffalo game. I went to bed. I just knew that game was over. I wake up the next day. I said, "You got to be. I know you lying. I know you lying. What happened?" And then just like last week, man, it's just I don't know. Uh, the Ravens have made it real hard for me to pick them, but I still picked them in this game because I just know how many problems the Chiefs have right now. But the Chiefs do have the Ravens number. That's all I can say.
Yeah, man, this game is so multi-layered that you don't know who to pick, and you don't know why you're picking who you're picking. With this being a game in the show me state, Baltimore is going to have to show me that they can win a big game. All right, Karen is all on us talking about we leave those Ravens alone.
And she
But
said, "Make a log off, Carrie. Don't go nowhere. You be here. You stay here."
hey, y'all are the most talented team in the National Football League, hands down, hands down.
They
But you
starting
have
to look
yet,
like but look, they starting to look like the Atlanta Falcons in the fourth quarter, though.
yeah, exactly. You have yet to proven it to prove it on the field. And Derrick Henry is not the reason that you lost those 2 games.
Nope.
Derrick Henry's fumbles are not the reason you lost those 2 games. Your defense and your coaching. I don't know which is worse, the defense or the coaching. Baltimore needs to make sure, and you're right, they are the better team. This game is more important for Kansas City because Baltimore can't afford to lose this game and still bounce back to win their division and make a deep playoff push. But if Kansas City lose this game, they go down 1-3. If the Chargers win their game against the G-men this weekend, they'll be 4-0. So that means Kansas City is 5 games back. And they're pretty much out of the division title conversation. The question would now be, does Kansas City even make the playoffs? And I didn't think that we would even be talking about that. If they
Ooh.
lose, like we talked about in week 1, they could come out of the month of September 1-3, 1-4, heading into October. This is legitimately the path that I envisioned. I didn't think Baltimore was going to be 1-2, but I think Baltimore does go into Kansas City and reestablishes the run. And I hope the local media in Baltimore has been pounding on John Harbaugh and his play calling in the fourth quarter throughout this week so that he hears that we have one of the best running backs in the history of the National Football League in the backfield. One of the fastest running backs in the history of the National Football League. One of the biggest. And he's still in his prime.
How long is it gonna take for him to hit it? Right, we've been saying that for 2 years since they picked him.
But since Todd Munchin has shown up in Baltimore after departing Georgia, they have just completely befuddled the play calling late in the season and late in big games. But
He just
and
don't want that. He don't
you
want
said
that
for the
Alabama boy. He don't
past
want that Alabama boy to get his shine, man. He don't want that Alabama boy to get his shine. That's what it is.
I would seriously consider firing him. I'm telling you, if they lose this game because of play calling, you talking about your defensive coordinator Matt Eberflus needing to get relieved. I think that offensive coordinator in Baltimore should be relieved, and John Harbaugh should really, really be on the hot seat
That's
because
the Drew. That's the Drew I know. I was wondering when you was gonna start to fire people. You ain't fired nobody all season, man. Hey, that's the Drew I know.
after week 4, we can actually start to have an honest discussion as to whether or not your philosophy is going to be implemented and absorbed. And I'm telling you, we got enough evidence on the OC for Baltimore. We got more than enough evidence. That national title you won in 23 does not matter, sir. All right, you have not produced. Baltimore better win this game. They have no choice but to win this game. Because if they lose this game, Jordan, on Tuesday, you're going to have to come and explain to us again why y'all just can't get right, Mike.
Joy might not show up on Tuesday. He might send somebody. He might be in the witness protection program.
Y'all just can't get right. Y'all going to get right on Sunday. At least I hope so. All right, man. Another big game. This one right here is the one that I'm actually looking forward to because I want to know, is Danny Dimes for real? Is Danny Dimes the new Indiana Jones? Or is he still Danny Dimes and he was riding on a cloud 9 high the first 3 weeks of the season? Because they travel to La La Land, baby, to take on a pissed off Los Angeles Rams team that feels they got robbed last weekend in Philly because they gave the game away. They couldn't block, they couldn't protect the kicker, got 2 kicks blocked, gave it away, gave it away, gave it away. Can the 3-0 Indianapolis Colts, led by Daniel Jones, who has been reborn after he left the NYC? What's up with y'all in the NYC? Y'all just break quarterbacks, both with the Giants and with the Jets. Everybody leave y'all and they find a new career as an actual quarterback.
Hey,
It's like,
at least they find a new career because them jokers go to Cleveland. That's where they go to die.
mm-mm.
Well, Baker, let me take Baker doing his thing. But you look at most of the jokers that was at Cleveland, that's where they went to die. I'm
Yeah.
just gonna say that.
So what do the Colts do this weekend to shock? Because this will be a shocker to beat the Rams and prove to not only their division that, hey, this is our division this year, but to the rest of the AFC that we gonna have to be dealt with, like for real, like people talk about Baltimore, Buffalo, and the Chargers so far this year.
I hate to sound like a broken record, man. First of all, hey, the Colts averaging 29 points a game. I mean, I think they're leading the league in scoring right now.
Mm-hmm.
Keep the ball in Jonathan Taylor's hand and keep Matt Stafford. I know Troy gonna say that's all Griff ever say, run the ball. I'm telling you, that's how you do it. You run the ball, especially if you can run the ball early. That defense get tired. That's when Daniel Jones and all this other stuff. But hey, Jonathan Taylor been having a great season this year, man. Don't over complicate this thing. Keep the ball in Jonathan Taylor's hand. Get the ball to his receiver. Hey, that guy Warren, the tight end, pretty good. Hey, it's like having another receiver out there. Hey, Danny Dimes just happened for him. Put respect on his name. That's what he say. But he just systems, man. Sometimes it's just about being in the right system and getting that opportunity. I just think the Giants, as we've seen, the Giants just got a bad system up there. Period. And the way they manage stuff, he didn't got to a place where he feel comfortable. He got a coach that believe in him, and then sometimes that's all you need. I don't think this game. I think this game is going to be another close one. I don't have the confidence in the Rams as other people do. I'm not. I don't. I think it's going to be a close game, and I'm not surprised if the Colts do win this game.
I would not be surprised if the Colts win the game, but I'm not going to sit here and say that I'm not impressed and expect a lot from the Los Angeles Rams because they gave away that game last weekend. You said get a ball to Jonathan. Yeah, establish the run. That leads to success everywhere else across the field. But I do recall that last week Garrett Griffin said that Danny Dimes was an MVP candidate. So why are you going to take the ball out of his hand?
Hey, now I know I'm gonna say clock stuff. I don't recall saying that. I don't think those words came out of my mouth.
He said, "All right, early season MVP discussion
Okay.
man."
Well,
Anyway,
let's keep it real then. Am I right or wrong? Early season, what other quarterback playing better than Danny Dimes right now? What other team is scoring more than him right now? I know. I give you about 5 more minutes to think about it.
no, I don't because they played Miami, if I'm not mistaken. And
Don't make they play Miami. It don't make a difference who they
all right,
play.
I got you. I'll give him his props. All right.
Hey, ask Chat GPT. It might help you out, bro.
I don't need to ask Chat GPT. I am Chat GPT. And I say that the Rams do defend home field and give the Colts their first L of the season. All right.
Okay,
You're
I'm
not
going with
high
the
on
Colts.
the Rams. I think the Rams are pissed off. Jonathan Taylor is not going to have the same amount of running success that he's had over the past several weeks. All right, because that Rams front line did what to Saquon last weekend? Oh, I forgot. Shut him down.
Okay.
Let us move on. And they're gonna do the same to JT.
I got the Colts. I didn't tell you. I'm going with the Colts.
I got you. I
And
got
my
you.
MVP candidate.
Hey, as you told Jordan, clock it. All right, man. The next one. Very interesting game. After 1 week, people are already talking about Carson Wentz replacing JJ McCarthy as the start. I'm like, the dude had one okay game. Let's pump the brakes, for real, for real. We are so prisoners of the moment in this sport. But the question is, can Carson Wentz actually generate legitimate conversation by going into the Steel Nation and beat down a Steelers team that is trying to get their footing in the 2025 season? Because Aaron Rodgers is still trying to figure it out, see what works for him and how much he can move around in that pocket. And that defense, after that first couple of games, you was like, what is really going on? But they did have 5 turnovers, whether or not New England gave it away 5 times or Pittsburgh took it away 5 times. They did have 5 turnovers last weekend. So can Pittsburgh defend home field, or does the Vikings and JJ run all over them on Sunday?
I ain't gonna say run all over them, but I will say I got the Vikings in this game, man. Pittsburgh hadn't showed me anything. I mean, they had that one shootout against the Jets in the beginning of the season, but the defense don't look like the defense of old. I, you know, I told you JJ McCarthy was my rookie of the year because it was his first year playing. But I'm gonna tell you what, man, that offense looked totally different with Carson Wentz back there. And I wouldn't be surprised because I think JJ might need a little bit more time to sit back and watch some of these guys. And you're right, man. That's just how our society is right now. We live in a microwave generation. Everybody wants instant results, and they jump on the shiny object every time. But I would say that this team uh, look a lot better with Wentz back there. I mean, Jefferson can get the ball now because it seemed like JJ was out there like how Sam Darnold was when he first came into the league, said he was seeing ghosts. So Pittsburgh defense has not. I mean, I ain't really heard much about Watts. Cam Haywood, okay. Micah is gone. it just don't seem like the team are old, man. So I got to take the Vikings in this game.
Yeah, yeah. And one correction before I begin my commentary. The game is Sunday morning across the pond.
Yeah,
So it's the first game of the day on the NFL Network. 9:30 is kickoff. So if you have the opportunity to catch that game early Sunday, perfect chance. Now, the offense looks better with Carson Wentz. Who were they playing against? A defense that forgot to bring the actual first letter in the word for the past 3 seasons. Come on. We are going to sit here and honestly say that there is an actual discussion that should be had between J.J. McCarthy and Carson Wentz. Of course, because J.J. McCarthy has no history but 2 games under his belt. Carson Wentz has years under his belt, but he's a backup for a reason. So let us not assume that just because they hung 48 points on a Cincinnati defense that never is able to stop a nosebleed.
that's your
Then,
squad though. That's your best worst team in the
all
league.
right,
Like for how many seasons we got now? 3. That's
as,
your best
as
worst.
all right, as one one person said on a talk show, they mine, and I love them, and I'm gonna stick with
I'm gonna stick. He's mine. I'm gonna stick beside him.
them. That's exactly what I was referring to too.
I
But
just
hey,
I would say this, Drew, and I shut up, man. I just what I just seen in JJ these first 2 games that he did get an opportunity to play, man. It's still some growing there for me. And Carson with his time in the league, even though he's in the backup situation, I still think he's the best thing that they got. If they want to move forward right now, that kid needs some grooming.
okay, we will revisit this on Tuesday because if the Vikings do win, because of their offensive success against the Pittsburgh Steelers, regardless of whether or not they've taken a step back defensively in this game, and the Viking offense looks impressive, we're going to come back and talk about whether or not Carson Wentz has a legitimate argument that even when McCarthy comes off of his injury, whether or not they should continue to ride with Carson Wentz or go back to the start. Kind of like what they did in Pittsburgh last year with
Russell,
Fields and Russell
Russell.
Wilson. So it might be the same situation. We shall see. I'm looking forward to see how this game turns out on Sunday, but I'm with you. I'm going with the Vikings to win this one closer than what people think. Now, this next one, man, I'm interested in this one simply because it's my guy leading the Commanders team traveling down to Atlanta to take on a desperate, and I do mean desperate, ladies and gentlemen, Atlanta Falcons team that really need a victory, right? Because Michael Penix Jr. kind of started off pretty good this year. First week, even though they lost to Tampa Bay in that last second field goal. Second week, we beat down Minnesota. They won 14 games last year. That leads us to believe that we are on the right track. But when you lose to the Carolina Panthers 30-0,
Trash.
trash. All of that first preseason discussion. Oh, look how he's starting off in this first couple of weeks. Y'all lost all credibility. So I don't believe Atlanta can defend home field. But hey, as Griff said, that Mercedes gonna put on a show. You're
Hey,
gonna enjoy yourself. But the Commanders, with or without Jayden Daniels, with
don't
Murray,
have
it
Terry.
doesn't matter. They take care of business for me.
Terry is out the game too. McLaurin has been ruled out of the game too.
I still got the Commanders.
I do too. I mean, again, they can't get the ball in Bijan's hand for whatever reason. I don't think they utilize him enough. And I mean, whether or not he running the ball or throwing the ball to him out the backfield, man, he is the best weapon they got, and I just don't think that they can do that yet. You would not get me to pick the Falcons. Not after them losing to the Panthers. I don't care. Yeah, I don't care. Matter of fact, they can bring Doug Williams back, the quarterback for the Commanders. I'm still picking the Commanders in this game, as much as it pains me to say it.
This game gonna be interesting though. It's
Nah,
gonna be close. It's gonna be close-ish.
nah.
But we'll see. Yeah, we can move on. We both got Commanders in this one. But this game, ladies and gentlemen, if there is an upset this weekend. This one right here. Watch out. Can Lightning strike twice in the same division? Can the Browns travel to the 3-1-3? What up, dope Detroit? And shock another Super Bowl contending NFC North leading team? Or will the Lions show why they are one of the best teams? Saw what they did to Baltimore last weekend. Well, we're about to really put it on this Browns team. What do you think happens, man?
I mean, I know the Browns
He
beat.
said, bro, stop.
Yeah, I know the Browns beat Green Bay, and they needed an interception from Jordan Love at the back end to do that. But I can't with a straight face even say this game is going to be close. Man, after the Lions lost that game in the beginning of the season, they got a big, huge chip on their shoulder. Everybody that said, hey, since that defensive and offensive coordinator and left, the team is nothing. I'm gonna tell you right now, it's gonna be another. Just like this past weekend, it's gonna be another blowout. Just like the Lions blow the Rays, it's gonna be another blowout. I don't see this game even being close.
Yeah, it's most likely going to be a blowout. It's most likely not going to be close, but I would not be surprised if Joe Flacco just pulls one more rabbit out of the hat and kind of surprises y'all, man. But I'm going to go with the Lions as well. I would be foolish to pick the Browns in an upset, but I've been known to do some.
Hey, yeah, man. I'm gonna have to call your PCM.
Who I saw today, by the way.
Hey, man, look, hey, them jokers had me on the phone for an hour
Oh,
talking about the next available appointment ain't till July. I said, man, you got to be.
Lord have mercy.
You lying. I know you lying. You got to go. Hey, I need to refer me somewhere outside.
For real.
Let's get back to football. My bad.
Yes, sir. All right, man. So we both got the lines in this. It should not be entertaining, but it just might be entertaining. So we shall see. Now, I mentioned this game earlier. Honestly, this could be an upset alert type of game, too. You have the 3-0 Jim Harbaugh led Los Angeles Chargers traveling all the way from the left coast to the East Coast, take on a New York Giants team that is starting a brand new quarterback this weekend. Is this the best time to start Jackson Dart? Why not? Throw him right into the fire. Because the Chargers defense going to pin their ears back and come after this young rookie. Can the Jordan or the Jackson Dart to Malik Neighbors connection begin right out the gate, or will this be overwhelming for the young rookie quarterback? Because, man, the lights and the glitz and the glamour of the NYC, you're going to have every question being asked. Is this too big for you? Are you ready for it? How calm are you? Are you going to be nervous? Is this the biggest game of your life? Is this another game? We know the Giants are going to lose because that's what they do. But how well do you think Jackson Dart does in his first NFL start?
It's mind blowing to me that they allowed the people from the side to tell them who to start this game. If Russ is not cooking, then you know who you put out there. You got James. You got James sitting right over on that sideline, a proven starter in the league. You know, I don't see it. It blows my mind. If I was gonna start him, I'd start him after they bye week. That's what I would have done. Not in this game right here. Yeah, I know Scatterboo looked real good, but that ain't gonna be enough to win against these Chargers because the Chargers gonna be running the ball just like them, and I mean they gonna run down that Giants defense's throat, and I think they gonna have Doc running around like, man, why y'all start me? Gonna be mad. For me, it just when you talked about how everybody be jumping on the shiny object because he had a couple of good games in preseason. Man, everybody looked good in preseason. But you brought Jameis there for a reason, and you finna put this rookie out there because of the pressure from the fans. I don't get it.
Man, I am on record in saying I want Jameis Winston back in New Orleans. Please trade him before the end of the trade deadline because Spencer Rattler, trash. Tyler Shaw.
Hey, man, that's your quarterback, man. You got to. Hey, I need to see that T.I. try like T.O. when they were talking about Robo.
Hey, He's a Gamecock. Trash. He's a Sooner. Trash. He is 0-9 as a starter. Trash. It's time for him to go. So Jameis, famous Jameis, we need you back down in Nola, my man. That's the only time I'm gonna talk about New Orleans. Now, the you're right. Jackson Dart is probably gonna have a hard game this weekend, but hey, it is what it is. The Chargers should look good coming out of this game. If this game is close, I'll be very surprised. But I'm looking for a blowout early for the Chargers. Now, this next one, man, I'm hoping my fantasy quarterback can get me some big numbers because he brought me my dub last weekend in fantasy league. Speaking of undefeated teams. They are traveling. They got their chests out. They got their first victory last weekend.
Yeah, against the Cowboys, the team that we've already talked about.
I didn't say who they got their victory against. I said they got their first victory last
I'll go ahead and address the elephant in the room.
But they're going to take on Troy's Raiders. Troy's Raiders need a victory too to maintain a little bit of head above water in their own division, right? Because of how good Denver is, because of how good the Chargers are. And we don't know what Kansas City is going to look like after this game against Baltimore. And I believe they play the Chargers next weekend or somebody who is a very good team. So Kansas City could be the bottom of the barrel in the AFC West by Halloween. We never know. Now, what you don't want to do is get the young quarterback hurt in his first start either, because he could be pressing the envelope. Talking about Jackson Dart, yeah. I'm gonna come to the Raiders in a minute. But what you don't want to do is get him hurt in his first start because of that Chargers defense. Now, Caleb Williams and the Bears and Ben Johnson, and can they travel to Pete Carroll's new den and the Raiders, who are desperately needing a dub? I think the Bears got a good chance to win this game. I kind of sat on the fence a little bit with this one because the Raiders are not as bad as you would think, but the Bears are not as bad as people think either. If there is an away team who wins this weekend, it's going to be the Bears. So I'm going to go on the record and say that the Bears pull one out.
I got the Raiders, man. They ain't going to be able to run a flea flicker and all this other bull crap, triple option and all this like they did on the Cowboys, bro. That's all I'm going to say.
He said triple option on the
Cowboys. Look, man, I mean, Caleb didn't even smell a defensive player that whole time. I promise you, he gonna see some this weekend. I can tell you that right now. That's all I can tell you. And yeah, I think the Raiders is a better team than Chicago.
We'll see. The Raiders probably will win. All right, but I just don't want to pick Troy's team. All right,
it hurt me too. Hey, look, Troy said you did. Hey, you praying. He said you done hit rock bottom when you praying for Jameis to be your quarterback.
Ain't nobody else out there. What other backup quarterback?
Hey, you can get Russ. Hey, somebody go get Russ at the trade deadline.
No, New York gonna keep one of the two. New York gonna keep one of the two.
Why it can't be the Saints, man? Why it can't be the Saints? Russ ain't wanted that. He didn't want his Ruckham out already in New York.
Okay, yeah. Troy said he and I play this weekend in fantasy football. So if you're undefeated as Ward Troy, get ready to take your first L. All right, because you're not gonna be able to stop my team, bro. Because my fantasy quarterback is gonna be the one, so it's gonna be double the salt. He gonna beat your team, and he gonna help me beat you. So, bam. All right. The last game of the weekend that I wanted to touch on, I want to touch on it for one reason and one reason only. Matt Jones. Can Matt Jones continue to hold it down? Oh, you said Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy is playing this weekend.
Purdy is starting this week. Purdy is back. Matter of fact, Matt Jones. Matt Jones is on the injury report as being questionable. So Purdy is starting this week.
Okay, so San Francisco should be good to take care of home field.
Should because I'm not sold on Sunshine in Jacksonville. You don't know which team you're getting with that one either.
Yeah. This is his prove it year to me. I mean, the first couple of years got it, situation, coaching, drama, yada 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 yada. And then he got the big contract, unworthy of it, but it was all of the still college hype. This is just like it is prove it year for Justin Herbert. It is the prove it year for Mr. Lawrence. So, 49ers should win this one, but it should be a close game. So we'll see how it turns out. I got the 49ers as well. And that shall close out the NFL lineup for the night. Now we get to the best games of the weekend. College football. And we have three huge games that I want to kind of isolate for this weekend's discussion, starting with the two top 10 ranked teams coming out of the Big Ten, the Oregon Ducks, traveling from the left coast once again to Penn State, Happy Valley in the whiteout, the number 3 ranked Penn State Nittany Lions, who have national championship aspirations, taking on Oregon, who has national championship aspirations. Both of them expect to be where they are, and both of them expect to be in the playoffs. Who wins this one and why? And what are you looking for? Now, granted, before you provide your commentary, we both know Oregon averages 50 points a game. We both know Penn State gives up only 5 points a game. Something has to give. What gives and why?
I think even though they're going to Happy Valley with the whiteout and stuff like that, I just think the Oregon offense is too fast paced. It's going to wear the Penn State defense down, man. I think Oregon has the better team, and then just the record of the quarterback. I mean, the coach of Penn State. He don't win big games, bro. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, so he can take that team and make it look real good. But I think this being a Big Ten game, this is going to be. I think this is going. Whoever win this game is probably going to be the team that's going to be representing a conference championship. But I think Oregon has the better team.
Man, this was one of those games where you say, is it I'm just going to overpower you with speed, or is it that I have a defense that bends, but we just don't know what it means to break type of games, right? Because it is going to be decided by the Penn State defense. Oregon is going to have that between 20 and 20 success that we talked about on Tuesday, but whether or not they are able to punch that consistently into the end zone, while a Penn State offense just grinds it out, right? But they are a very good offense. We're not looking at Oregon's defense as one of the top tier defenses in the daggone country that just shuts people down. No. Penn State does enough on offense to not only give them a legitimate shot to win every game, but they have a defense that completely shuts teams down. Now, granted, we've only seen them do it 4 times or 3 or 4 times in the season, and the quality of opponent is not what each one of these two teams has seen before. But what do we always say, Griff? What do we always say? Offense puts butts in the seats, but defense wins.
Defense win games. Defense win games.
So I'm with you on the history of the coach not having a good track record in big time games. I am with you with, man, you just blitzed them with speed on offense and you eventually tired them out. And I am with you with the history of Penn State being in that category of show me, right? Because historically, you always come up short, right? Because when we start talking about the glory days in the mid or early 80s, we might as well just stop talking. Who can the whiteout be the determining factor? Because this game is going to be closer than averaging 50 points and giving up 5 points. I think it's going to be in the mid-20s, maybe low 30s for both teams. And if it's a one possession game, I would go with Penn
Penn
State.
State, yeah. If it's a one possession, it's gonna be Penn State. But like Harold say, Penn State need this win more than Oregon do.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And
Uh,
I just think that late in the game that Oregon will eventually pull away. So I'm with you. Oregon offense this time does outshine defense, and Oregon should win an entertaining game. But at the very same time, you can move on, Jordan. At the very same time, at 7:30, this game kicks off on NBC tomorrow night. You have what is traditionally one of the biggest games of the year, not only in the Southeastern Conference, but across the college football landscape, because these two teams are national powerhouses and have been over the past 10, 15, 20 years in some capacity or another. All right. And they're next door neighbors. If you know a little bit about U.S. geography, Alabama traveling to Athens, Georgia to take on the Georgia Bulldogs. Alabama coming in after suffering a early season right out of the gate, lost to what is now a very good Florida State team. So that loss wasn't as funny as we originally thought. Going in against a undefeated Georgia team, but still has not really solidified whether or not they're the Georgia of old, or is this a Georgia team that is just slightly better than what people think? What are you looking for, Griff, to make sure that your Crimson Tide and Coach DeBoer come out of there with a dub on Saturday night?
hey man, this is gonna be the most watched game Saturday night.
She said the most watched.
It's gonna be the most watched game. It's gonna be like you said, the Cowboys and Green Bay game. This is everybody. Everybody want to see these two teams play because it's always a great game. Coach DeBoer is 1-5 on the road, and I say Coach DeBoer because he is the one that set the tone for the team. What I really need to see from my team is I need to see the defensive play. I know what Kirby gonna do. Kirby gonna come out there. He gonna play smash mouth with his defense, and he gonna run that ball. And Kirby know how to make adjustments. But what I need from my defense, I need my defense to come out there and be able to stop the run. I need my secondary to be able to be on the island all by themselves. On the offensive side of the ball, I like what I was seeing with Ty Simpson. We get Jam Miller back this week, so that means we actually going to hopefully we will commit to the run a little bit more. But with Williams, Bernard, hey man, we got a powerful offense over there. My concern is my defense and how well they play. And the defensive coordinator for me has not shown me that he know how to make adjustments should we get down. But what I will say, last year, this is when Kalen DeBoer shined. And if he really want to maintain his position at the University of Alabama and come somewhat out of the hot seat, he need to go down to Athens and win this game.
Yeah, yeah. Starting with Coach DeBoer, you're absolutely right. Going 2-0 against Georgia is the equivalent of a Michigan coach going 2-0 against Ohio State or vice versa. So that would buy him some leeway. Looking long term, losing this game for either team is not going to hurt them in the playoff hunt. As it pertains to the rankings, because this game is going to be close, this game is going to be exciting, and this game is going to have big plays. And it's not going to cause either team to lose or to drop very far in the rankings. Alabama can take a second loss because of how good Florida State looks and how good Georgia is going to look if Georgia wins. And obviously, same for Georgia if they take that L. So getting that out of the way long term. Now, immediately how this game is going to play out, you have to remember this game is played for 60 minutes, sometimes even longer. You have to take each and every snap very seriously because you're only going to have those certain opportunities to have those explosive plays that you talked about that you want to see from your offense. Because Georgia is going to play methodically. They're going to grind it out. They're going to pick their poison. They're going to take shots and chew up clock. That is how I see the Georgia offense winning this game. They're going to wear Alabama down and eventually start to take those pot shots late in the third and fourth quarter to kind of begin to create that separation that you think Kirby Smart is going to want to have. And on the defensive side, bring that same amount of pressure all game long, subbing those big guys out up front to keep Simpson off balance, right? You want him to have the ability to get the ball to Williams. Well, if I take that time away from you, Williams can't have that opportunity to take the cap off of defense because he can't have the separation that he needs because the quarterback is already on his back. So look for Kirby Smart to bring that additional pressure. Unless Simpson has the escapability, I don't know. Maybe
Yeah,
he does.
he actually does. And
Okay.
believe it or not, Williams is not the guy for the team this year. It's actually Bernard. And
Okay.
plus we've seen a couple other guys. So offensive wise, I'm not worried at all, man. It's the defense that I'm more concerned about. And like you said, if we can shut that run down, then they can't be methodical
Mm-hmm.
and force the quarterback to do what he do. I'm confident in what I got over there in the secondary. So we'll see.
Yeah, and legitimately speaking, this is a toss-up game. Either one of these two teams can win. Either one of these two teams is going to require a big play, a key turnover at a key point in the game, early in a drive where a team is deep in their own end, or late in the drive when they're deep in the opposing teams in going in for a go-ahead score of some sort. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to assume, Griff, you're going to go with the visiting team from Tuscaloosa in this one. Am I right?
Your assumption is, man, again, Negro Dominance. You're absolutely correct.
Well, simply because of proximity to the that you live with, you're going to go with the Bama team. Obviously, I'm going to do the same and go with them dogs from
Oh,
Georgia.
but I know why you going. You don't want to sleep on the couch.
I'm going with them dogs, baby. Georgia going to defend home field. Kirby Smart is going to finally get off of the snide and beat Alabama. I know he's been trying to beat Nick Saban forever, but now that Nick is gone, he does not want to go 0-2 to coach DeBoer.
All I'm gonna say is we done won 7 of the last 8 times we done played each other. That's all I'm gonna say.
Coach DeBoer wasn't there when y'all did that. You know that?
But he showed put on the show last year. Oh, how
That
so?
was a different Alabama team, my man. But man, just as you're going to be on pins and needles at 7:30, I'm going to be the same at 3:30 because I tell you, man, this game right here, I'm honestly stunned that Ole Miss is favored by 3.5 points.
Why you
I am
saying?
stunned, huh? No
No.
respect. No respect for the fourth-ranked LSU Tigers. But no, this is a toss-up game because we all know Kirby Smart loves to do what Kirby Smart does. Not Kirby Smart. Lane Kiffin.
Like
Lane Kiffin is Mr. Unpredictable in the SEC because he always puts offenses on the field that is going to stretch a defense, right? And LSU's defense comes into this game much improved from last year. What I consider to be a top 20 defense in the college football landscape across both Division One, Division Two, and Division Three, based off of the early season success. Even though Florida did help with 5 INTs in the turnover game and the ability to stop the run in the games they've played. Now, Ole Miss, like I said, traditionally comes in and is able to light up the scoreboard. Uh, they're at home. They are favored. What does my Tigers, I'm putting it on you, what does my guy do to make sure that those Tigers leave Oxford with a dub tomorrow afternoon?
Again, you got to put pressure on Lane Kiffin's quarterback because you know he gonna come out there and do what he do. And if y'all give him time, based off how Lane Kiffin do what he do, it's gonna be a long day for them Tigers. Y'all gonna be leaving like Cubs, baby. That's all I'm saying. Y'all ain't gonna be Tigers. Y'all gonna be newborns out there.
We're going to be newborn.
Hey, that's all I'm saying. Hey, y'all better not leave there with a loss because I can't wait to see the post game interview with your coach. That's all I'm saying. Hey, that joker, y'all beat Florida, and that joke was like, man, the only reason why y'all beat Florida because that joker threw 5 interceptions. He didn't want to talk about the offense. Y'all offense with that quote unquote NFL ready quarterback over there. I ain't seen it. That's all I'm saying.
Hey.
Y'all needed 5 interceptions from Florida to barely win a game.
Really? So that's what we doing. Okay. So that's what we doing. Okay.
Hey man, I'm just commentating right now, man. I'm just looking like a TIE is.
Man, no, you're absolutely right. The defense has carried the Tigers thus far this year. I'll give you that. The offense was much anticipated. Garrett Nussmeier was coming into the season as a possible Heisman Trophy candidate. Has not shown that. The offense has sputtered in games that you thought they would have been better. The only game that they actually had a lot of success in was last week when they played a junior varsity team in Southeast Louisiana. Got it? Not a junior varsity team, but as compared to what LSU is expected to do, what they did was what we thought they should have done. So you're not impressed. Understood. I understand why people believe that the Ole Miss offense is going to stretch the LSU defense, but the LSU defense is very similar to the Penn State defense. It is a bend, not break type of defense. Ole Miss is going to have that success going between 20 and 20, but can they get it in the end zone consistently? Because Garrett Nussmeier can put it in the end zone, and he will, because those LSU receivers, because you know how we do down at WRU, we create receivers that know how to get separation and get the ball in the end zone. Nussmeier is going to put enough points on the board for them Tigers.
And fumble at the next level. And then they get to the next level and fumble the ball. We talking about their quad hurt.
You talking about one game. I know you're not trying to bring up my man.
I'm just saying, man. You got Malik Neighbors up there. He crying. You got Brian Thomas Jr. down there. He crying. Don't get me started now. They got all their jury and stuff on though. They couldn't let me play in the league right now. I'll be straight out there taking chains. I ain't even hit nobody. I'm just taking chains. All these people with all that jury on out there.
Yeah. I would have been like Mr. Harrison from the Steelers. Anyway.
I'd be straight chain snatching. That's it. I ain't even trying to play football. Just snatching chains.
Hey, it's going to be a lot of great football this weekend. All jokes aside, some huge games
Looking forward to
in the college football landscape, of course, that we just talked about. And then the big games that we talked about in the NFL. So whatever team that you are supporting, I hope your team does well. And I'm telling you, don't be surprised if the Who Dat Nation get their first dub on Sunday against the
Trash.
Oh, all right, man. You remember on Tuesday when we asked the question in the Micah Bowl, who is actually going to outperform the other? And I said that if Dak has that 250, the game is close, more than one passing touchdown, no turnovers, and actually keeps the Cowboys close, that is considered success. Whether they win or lose, that is considered success. And on the opposing side was whether or not Micah Parsons is not only going to reach Dak Prescott more than once to have more than one sack, but possibly create a turnover or generate a turnover himself. Maybe even score. We never know. The majority of you who voted said that Michael most likely will get his sweet revenge against Jerry Jones, and after each sack will point up to the skybox that Jerry is sitting in, looking all uptight to say, this is the reason you should have paid me $188 million. Griff, you agree with the poll, or do you believe that Dakota Wayne Prescott is going to do what he does and shine on Sunday Night Football?
Nah, man. I agree with the poll, man. Here's my thing. Even if Micah don't get sacks, he gonna call. It's gonna open the door for other people to do stuff. So I think just his presence on the field is gonna cause problems for the Dallas Cowboys offense and limit the things that Dak is gonna be able to do. Dak would not have the time to be able to do what he want to do.
Yeah, you're right, Harold. Micah coming.
Hey, he leaving here with something. Like Denzel say, I'm leaving with something. I'm leaving with something.
So, what do you think the score is going to be before we close this out?
Honestly, man, all jokes aside, man, I see Green Bay win this game by at least 14 points. And to be honest, I see this. I see this game. It might be. I mean, hell, they might even put 21 away our secondary. Because again, all you gotta do is throw the ball up in the sky on our secondary. 2 weeks in a row, Joker's just throwing the ball in the air, and people are sitting up there looking. Like,
That is
I
so
don't know if
true.
you've been seeing. Did I send you the video with Bubba Dub and Trayvon been going back and forth, man?
Oh my goodness, man! I was just thinking that this was going to be an inspired game where the entire team was going to rally behind. Let's win one for Jerry and keep this game close. But then you reminded me that your defense is what? Trash.
Right.
And for that reason and that reason alone, I think this game is going to resemble that playoff game. Y'all remember that playoff game when Green Bay was up 27-0 early in the third quarter and everybody decided to leave and Dallas ended up losing like 53-3. Anyways, I think this game is going to turn out like that. Man, it was a phenomenal show. Anything in the chat that we did not address?
No, I don't think we missed nothing in the chat, man. Nothing but a lot of comedy. Harold, thank y'all. I mean, everybody stayed on here, and again, man, I think we had a lot of people here today, man. So as always, I appreciate everybody showing up to the round table, listen to me and Drew play around for a little bit, but also talk football. If y'all ain't got y'all book yet, you already know. This is the sponsor. Don't talk about it, be about it. Go out there and get it while it's hot, baby. Go get it while it's hot. You can get it on Amazon. But other than that, man, hey, another great show, my brother. As always, appreciate you for having me here, and appreciate all the Roundtable family for being here.
Yes, sir. I thank you for your commentary, not only on tonight's topics, but for your continued contribution to society. And don't talk about it, be about it. If you haven't gotten your copy, ladies and gentlemen, make sure that you go and scoop that up at any participating distributor, because we're not going to only listen to the CBSA, we're going to turn the CBSA to a NBSA, a national best-selling author.
Man, hey, if you got your book, make sure you put your reviews.
Yeah.
That's how I get it. Hey, I need you to go do the reviews.
Yes, sir. Like I mentioned a few minutes ago, phenomenal games this upcoming weekend. Do hope your team does well, unless they are the Ole Miss Rebels. I hope LSU blows y'all out, but that's just me. I'm being a little bit biased. But for the rest of y'all, look forward to some exciting, close, jaw-dropping games, no matter whether it be on the NFL level or the NCAA level. And whatever it is that you have planned for this upcoming weekend as pertains to activities, please ensure that you are safe, stay hydrated, take care of yourselves, do something nice for yourselves, take care of your families, and please do something nice for them, because they are the most important people in your life. And given the opportunity, do something nice for someone that you may not even know, because it just might be the best thing that happened to them on that particular day. Y'all stay safe. Y'all stay blessed. Y'all be breezy.